beauty babes, welcome to my channel. I'm Maria, aka Agape Love Girl. Thank you so much for joining me today. Today I'm doing a 3 looks 1 palette with the Urban Decay Naked Cherry palette. I know that by now the Naked Cherry is kind of old news, but for those who got it, hopefully this will be some inspiration for you guys. I wanted to do 3 different looks using all the different shades in this palette. I do want to mention really quick that if you have not seen, I do have 3 other videos already up on my channel of this Naked Cherry. The first one is like an overview all about the palette and swatches and things like that. The other one is another tutorial using some of the other shades that I didn't use for the looks in this video. It's a very pinky look. And then another video comparing this palette to the Backtalk palette, and I did a look with that. So anyways, if you haven't seen those and you're interested to see some more content with this palette, definitely check those out. I will have them linked somewhere either in the eye or the description box somewhere. You guys can check them out. But yeah, with all that being said, let's go ahead and roll into the first look. All right, this first look is going to be basic, like basic. Unless I decide to add glitter randomly at the end. I might do that. I don't know yet. This first one, I just want to show you, like, you guys can create like a pretty simple, like, basic look. I just love that this palette is pretty versatile. You can create everyday wearable looks, you can create really smoky sultry looks, you can create glam dramatic looks. So I've already got, as you can see, the rest of my face on, and I have my eyes like, obviously there's product on it, the Urban Decay Anti-Aging Eyeshadow Primer Potion. I put that on first, like I put that on my eyelids before I even did the rest of my face. I don't know why I did that. Probably because I knew I'd get other stuff over it, so I just wanted that down. Anyways, I put that down first, and then I did put my concealer over it, and the concealer I'm using today is the Doterra Hydralux concealer. So that's over top of it, and then I did not necessarily like set really heavily with my setting powder today, but just whatever was left on my brush as I kind of sweep and blend over my face as I usually do, swept over my eyes as well. So that's what's there. But as I've been wearing this a little bit, it has like, I don't know if you could see, but like there's like a little bit of that crinkling action happening. So what I'm going to do is just go ahead and set this down. So this part is optional, that's why I'm going through this whole spiel. But what I'm going to do is just kind of set over my entire lid with the shade Hotspot. I'm just using this big old fluffy brush from Scandelleyes. It's their large fluff brush. Love this brush. I keep saying that every time I use it. But anyways, I'm just going to take that and just set. Ooh, that's actually brighter than I remember. I'm just going to set that kind of all over the lid just to get rid of those little lines there. Next up, we're going to get peachy real quick here. I'm going to go into the shade Juicy with the Scandelleyes Crease Blender brush, which is just a very soft, very big, fluffy blending brush. I'm going to be taking that to the crease and transition area of my eyes, kind of smoking it up somewhat high. I don't really know. We'll see what happens. But I may or may not smoke it up kind of high, just so you know. But you can do however you want. Just get this in your crease. Okay, I'm just going to bring a little bit of that to my lower lash line as well. And as you can see, I kind of connect it like where I left it off on my upper lid. Alright, next we're just going to deepen this up just a little bit. Well, probably a lot of it because this is the deepest shade in the palette, but you know. Alright, we're going to deepen it up with the shade Privacy, and I'm just going to be taking that on a kind of smaller blending brush. This is the Smith 230. I'm going to be placing that on the outer corner of my eyes, just kind of patting it on and gently blending. And then I'm going to go back in with the bigger brush that I used originally and blend some more just to diffuse it out. But I'm going to start off by just patting it on there. Right now, just going in to that same shade, but with a pencil brush. This is from Beauty Junkies. I'm just going to be taking that softly to my lower lash line. Next up, I'm going to go into the shade Turn On, and I'm going to be using the Scandelleyes Shadow Fluff to apply. And I'm going to be applying that on pretty much the majority of the rest of my eyelid. I'm going to go in first to see how it's looking without setting spray, but you guys know that usually I like to amp up my looks and add some setting spray after, but I like to apply it first, as I always say this, without setting spray first. Just give you guys a feel of how this looks, how it's working, and if I feel like I need to, I might go in with some setting spray too. Okay, not bad without some setting spray, but you know me, as I already said, I really like to make these shadows pop a little bit more. Works a lot better if you add a little bit of setting spray, so what I'm going to do is put a little bit of shadow on the brush, or grab a little bit of shadow on the brush, and then go ahead and set it, spray it with some setting spray. Alright, now just going back in with that Smith 230 brush in the shade Privacy, just to clean up that outer edge where it looks a little bit choppy. Want to make it a more seamless blend. Alright, so this is the look. Pretty much that's it. This is it. It's so basic, it's so easy, but it's really pretty. I really like the way it looks, and I just want to be able to show you guys, like, you know, which colors to pair together for a pretty peachy look. Very, very simple, basic, everyday wearable look. Really pretty. Throw on some mascara, do a wing if you want, do false lashes if you want to glam it up just a touch more. But I mean, this is a really just quick and easy, simple look. I think it's so, so pretty. But because I got it in my mind that I was possibly going to add glitter, I just felt like I kind of wanted to add glitter. So I think I'm just gonna go there. And this is completely optional. That's why I'm saying, like, this is the look done. Like, finish it up if you want. But if you want to add just a little bit more sparkle, because you know that's how I do, that's what we're gonna go ahead and do. I got this recently, or I purchased this, not just got it. This is the Catrice Rock Couture liquid liner. This is the shade Guns in Rose Gold, and it's because it's a liner, it's like a glitter liner. It does have the little wand tip, so I'm just gonna simply use that just to kind of sweep it right there in between those two shades and see how it looks. Other thing I totally forgot, I'm just remembering, every time I've used this so far, it stings the eyes a little bit, so that's just something to know. If you have sensitive eyes, this might not be a formula for you. I don't know why it stings. It doesn't sting like painful, but it is just a noticeable, like, not burning sensation, but kind of. I don't know how else to explain it. It's like, and it goes away. Like, I feel it still subtly now, but eventually I'll stop feeling it. But when I put it on there, I do notice a weird, like, sensation, and I don't have sensitive eyes at all, so it doesn't bother me, but I just wanted to mention that because I know that those who may have sensitive eyes, if you put that on and feel it, you'd be like, oh my god, what the heck, and it might even irritate your eyes or whatever. So I want to let you guys know that. I'll probably mention that in my my video on Catrice products, but since I'm using it again here, and if you haven't seen that, I want to mention that. So that's something to note. You might not like that, but again, this is just an optional step, and it's just very simple. This is kind of what it's looking like. It didn't add like too much to this look, but just added just enough of something, just a little bit more pop, and that color really is almost spot on for the color that's on my lid, except for it's just a little bit more shiny, a little bit more metallic. So it's really not a big deal to add that, but I just kind of wanted to add a little something. Anyway, so let's go ahead and move on now. I'm going to go ahead and line my waterline. And I'm actually going to be using two different liners. I really just want kind of like a nude color in my waterline, since this is more of a daytime look. So I'm going to be using the Rimmel London Scandelleyes Kohl Waterproof Eyeliner Pencil in the shade Nude. I'm going to be putting that on my lower waterline. And then for my upper waterline, or my tight line, I'm going to be using the same Rimmel London liner, but the shade Black, just because I like when it looks darker up there, my lashes look a little bit thicker, look a little bit better. So I'm going to go ahead and line my upper waterline, my tight line, with the black. Alright, now because this look is a little bit more simple, it's just a little more everyday, kind of not super, like, I'm not trying to go glam with it. I'm just going to be using mascara. You can apply any that you prefer. I'm going to be using the Urban Decay Perversion mascara just to kind of keep it cohesive with this Urban Decay tutorial. Whew, I am seriously loving the way this looks. Oh my gosh, like, so pretty. All right, I want to, for lips, try another one of the new City Lips matte liquid lipsticks. This is the shade Rosewood. I really, just so you guys know, I love the wand on this. It's so nice. They're so precise to really, like, line your lips. It's amazing. Okay, I think this actually looks quite perfect. I love this. This color is stunning. What the heck? Oh my gosh, it's so pretty. I really wasn't sure if it was gonna look good or match up with this look, but I think it looks good. I like it. What do you guys think? Oh my gosh, like, I am in awe. This shade is so, so pretty. What do you guys think? Alright, so that does it for my first look of the 3 looks I'm doing with the Naked Cherry palette. I really hope you guys enjoyed this look. I really love the way it turned out. I'm actually like I don't know, I'm borderline like surprised that I really love the way this turned out, because I kind of did a similar look to this already that I wore to church. I kind of glammed it up just a little bit more with that little touch of sparkle, and then obviously added the lip, but I don't know. I love the way this turned out. So I really hope you guys do too. So I'm not gonna ramble on and on. Let's go ahead and move on to the second look. All right, to start off today's tutorial, as you can see, I already have my brows done, and I do just have a little bit of concealer pulled down onto my lids, not much, and there might be a little bit of powder on there as well from when I set the rest of my face, but again, not much. That's basically how we're gonna start the eyes. I'm not gonna do anything else to them. All right, so I'm going to start off with a big, soft, fluffy blending brush. This is the Scandelleyes L215, and I'm going to be taking that into the shade Juicy and bringing that into my crease and transition area, just kind of softly smoking and diffusing it upwards. Now with a slightly smaller blending brush, this is the Beauty Junkies Pro Crease Brush. I'm just going to be taking that same exact shade to my lower lash line. Next, I'm going to be going into the shade Devilish, and I'm going to be taking this on a tapered blending brush. This is the brush that I haven't used in a long time, but it is one that was a staple favorite of mine. I still love this brush. I just use other brushes here and there for the most part. But anyways, this is the Sedona Lace EB09 brush. I have taken it with some product on both sides, and I'm going to be taking that on the kind of outer and inner portion of my eyelids, because we are going to do a kind of a halo looking eye today. And I will also just sweep in between a little bit too. Now just going back in with that Scandelleyes crease blender brush just to further blend and just diffuse the crease colors together. Next, we're going to deepen it up just a little bit. I'm going to go into the shade Privacy, and I'm going to be taking that on a pencil brush. This one is from Beauty Junkies. It is my favorite pencil brush. That might seem weird, but not all pencil brushes in my experiences are the same. This one is the best. Anyways, I'm going to be taking that just slightly on the very, very outer portions of my inner and outer lid. I'm also going to be taking this on my lower lash line. All right, next up I'm going to be going into the shade Young Love, and if I remember correctly, I prefer this shade when sprayed, but I'm going to apply it on its own first, and if need be, as usual, I will spray it, and you guys will see that. Anyways, I'm going to be taking this on the Scandelleyes Shadow Fluff, the L213 brush, and just taking that to the center of my lid. Okay, now I'm just going to go back in with that Sedona Lace EB09 brush, that tapered blending brush, and just take a touch more of Devilish and just blend alongside Young Love. I guess these are more of tapping motions than really blending, just kind of tapping right over. Just to make it look a little bit more gradient between Young Love and Privacy. Alright, and then next up I'm going to take the shade Hot Spot into another EB09 brush, and I'm going to just take that to my brow bone just to add a little bit of highlight and just kind of a little cleanup blending like I do sometimes. Alright, here's what we're looking like so far. The look is pretty much done at this point. I mean, this is the look essentially, but you guys know me. You probably know what's coming next. I do want to add a touch of glitter. This is just, it's optional. You do not have to do it, but I just want a little touch of some sparkle just to add a little bit more oomph, you know. So like I said, if you want to be done with the look here, this is basically the look. Throw on some lashes, throw on mascara, whatever you guys want to do. This is it, a beautiful smoky cherry red look, and I love this. But like I said, I do want some glitter to it, so I'm gonna go ahead and use the NBA Cosmetics Bling It On liquid glitter in the shade Smooch. I love these Bling It On glitters. They are so easy to use. I've talked about these several times on my channel before. I use them in so many of my looks. But anyways, What I'm going to do is just squeeze a little bit of the glitter onto a small flat brush. This is the Morphe M170-6. I do believe it is a lip brush technically, but it works perfectly for what I'm going to do. And so what I'm going to do is take a little bit of this glitter, keeping it very much so in the center of my lid, and also very close to my lash line. I will bring it up just slightly, but I want to concentrate most of the glitter kind of on my lash line so you can still see that color Young Love that we have in the center here, but this is just gonna add just a little bit more something something. Alright, and this is how it's looking. As you can see, it's not a ton, so it's just a little pop of glitter that I think just adds you know, the perfect little finishing touch for this look. Especially if this is like a holiday look or something, it would just be so pretty. Anyways, I just love these glitters from Invia Cosmetics because they're just so convenient and easy to use. Just pop glitter wherever you want or need really quickly and easily. The glue is already inside of it, so you don't have to worry about getting multiple products. It just bam, done. Love it. Alright, so to finish off this look, I'm going to be adding a little bit more black liner to my waterline. I'm going to be using the Rimmel London Scandelleyes Kohl liner in the shade Black. I've talked about this before. It's one of my favorites. It's actually what I had on before I started this tutorial, but I want to put a little bit more, kind of deepen up the darkness there. And then for mascara, I will be using the Urban Decay Perversion mascara. Alright, and now that I'm seeing this kind of complete, I feel like I need to add a little something more. So I do want a little pop of something in my inner corner here. So what I'm going to do is take the shade Bang Bang on a clean pencil brush and just pop that right there real quick. No, that shade's just a little bit too sparkly. That's the one that's the most difficult in the palette. So actually, it's giving me a little bit of sparkle, but there's just so much fallout. I'm going to go into the shade instead Turn On. Alright, and lastly for this look, I am just going to be popping on a little bit of gloss. I'm going to be using my new Doterra lip gloss. Alright, and this is the completed look. I really hope you guys enjoyed this second tutorial. Now let's go ahead and move on to the third. Alright, welcome to look number 3. As you can tell, I do already have my brows on. To start with this look, I am going to go ahead and prime my eyes with the Urban Decay Eyeshadow Primer Potion. This is their anti-aging version. I do already have a little bit of concealer on my lids, as you can tell, and I'm just going to put this right over top. Alright, next up I'm just going to set my entire lid using the shade Hot Spot, and I'll be using the Scandelleyes Large Fluff brush. This part is optional. I think I say this often because I don't always set my primer, but you know, I'm going to go in right away with a vibrant color, so I just want something just to kind of mute out my lids to start off with. Okay, I'm kind of nervous. I have kind of an idea in mind for this look, but I don't know how well it's going to pull off. But we're going to go in right away, like I said, with a bam pop of color. So I'm going to be going into the shade Devilish, which is that deep burgundy wine shade. And I'm going to be taking that on a very fluffy brush. This is the Scandelleyes Crease Blender, the L215. And I'll be taking that into my crease / transition area, kind of just really diffusing it up high. I'm going to try to start off slowly and then build it up as needed. I do think I'm going to go ahead and create kind of a winged out shape with this. So you're going to see me kind of pulling it kind of farther out towards the outer eye area. Okay, now I'm just going to go ahead and run that same shade onto my lower lash line using the same brush. Since I don't have the rest of my face on, I could be a little bit messy, a little bit sloppy, and I'm just going to bring that up so that it meets the tail of where I left it off on my upper eyelid. Alright, next up I'm going to deepen it up a little bit. I'm going to go into the shade Privacy using a very tiny blending brush. This is this Decay Mini Crease Fluff, the L217. And what I'm going to do is just kind of take it to the same places I brought Devilish, but just a little bit lower, just so there's a little bit of depth there. Alright, so next up I am going to do a cut crease, and I usually just kind of don't actually cut my crease with anything like a concealer or anything like that. I just kind of go in and create the look of a cut crease. But today I think I'm actually gonna cut my crease, as they say, using a concealer and this flat concealer brush from Beauty Junkies. This is their Pro Concealer. I'm using the ColourPop concealer in the shade Light 12. This is a very, very light shade. It's not mine, it's actually my daughter's, but I think the light color will be perfect. Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead and load up my brush with a lot of concealer and just start trying to cut my crease. I think it'll be more like a half cut crease more than a full one. If I was smart, I would have just pulled out my stamp crease and used that again. I haven't used that since I first got it. But I felt like that one's just so dramatic that I didn't want to go that dramatic with it, but I feel like this is kind of going there. We're kind of getting pretty dramatic anyways. Alright, I think this is as good as it's gonna get. I'm gonna go ahead and apply a shadow over top in the inner corner of my eyes. I'm gonna be applying the shade Turn On, and I'm just gonna be using that same Pro Concealer brush from Beauty Junkies. I did wipe the concealer off of it, and like I said, I'm just gonna apply this to the very front inner corner of my eyelid where I placed that concealer. Next, I want to create kind of a gradient effect, so I'm going to be going into the shade Ambitious and placing that right next to Turn On and kind of just blend slightly over so they have a little bit of overlap and a gradient look. And also I am going to be using that same brush that I've been using. Okay, now continuing on with that gradient effect, I'm going to go into the shade Drunk Dial, and I'm going to be taking that on the brush that comes with the palette, the kind of more fluffier end. I want to try to be a little bit more careful because this is kind of a fluffy blending brush, but I also want to kind of wing this out into my outer corner and then blend it in with that gradient color effect that I'm trying to create. So I'm going to do this very, very gently, or at least I'm going to try to. Alright, I think you can kind of see what I was doing and going for with this look. I do want to kind of sharpen it up a little bit, so I'm going to do two things. One, I'm going to go ahead and take a little bit more of the shade Privacy on a small angled like bent liner brush, and I'm just going to kind of go over my cut crease area just to define the cut crease. And then I'm going to do something else with the cut crease right after. You'll see. I'm just kind of try to speed through this. This is just a little small thing to do, but I feel like it really makes a difference, you know, sharpening up the look. All right, then next I'm going to take this like little razor sharp like angled liner brush. This is the Decay Angle Mini S203, and what I'm going to do is go back into the shade Turn On and just kind of drag that shade all the way back. I think this would be kind of an interesting look. Not quite sure, it's just a thought in my head, but we're gonna see. Alright, what do we think of that? I don't know. I feel like, I don't know, it's interesting, a little bit unique. I'm not sure if it looks good or bad, but it was something I really want to try. So anyways, let's go ahead and move on. I'm going to amp up the lower lash line. I'm going to go in with the shade Privacy on a very, very tiny smudge brush. This is the Sigma Smudge E21, and run that on close to my lower lash line. And then I'm going to follow up with the shade Devilish just to smoke it out with probably the Sedona Lace ED09 brush. Okay, and then I'm actually going to run a little bit of that above my cut crease just to add a little bit more color there. I feel like this color kind of got lost with all the other blending and products colors I added, but you know, just playing around, figuring it out. Alright, I think I'm done with this crazy look. I don't know how I'm feeling about it. It's definitely dramatic. I'm going to go ahead and put on the rest of my face off camera. We'll be back to wrap up the look, show you the completed look. Alright you guys, so to finish up this look, I did go ahead and pop on a little bit of my face highlight into the inner corner of my eyes as well as my brow bone. I used the Makeup Forever Pro Light Fusion highlighter. This is like their pinky one. And then I did go ahead and apply lashes. I just felt like this kind of more dramatic look definitely needed some lashes, so I just applied one of my very favorite lashes, the Pure Cosmetics eyelashes in the style of Bombshell. And then for my lips, you guys, I'm so basic, you guys know this, it's just nothing new, I apologize, but I just went ahead and just popped on a gloss real quick. This is one of the Urban Decay Hi-Fi Shine glosses in the shade Fuel. Very, very basic, but that's just me, that's who I am. But anyways, this is the completed look. I think after I put on the rest of my face, it pulled together a lot better than I thought it would. I feel like I feel very rusty with makeup because I haven't done super glam looks it's been a while, and I feel like I haven't worn lashes in a while, so I just feel like I look super strange. It's very strange to see myself looking like this right now just because it's been a minute since I've done a pretty, you know, dramatic or more dramatic glam look with lashes and all that stuff. But overall, I do think the look is really pretty. I was glad that I was able to use all of the colors in the palette throughout these looks and the looks that I did previously in other videos, and just bring you guys some inspiration, hopefully at least inspire you to pull out this palette if you have it and create new or fun different looks with it. So anyways, I really do hope you guys enjoyed this video, enjoyed all these looks. I'd love to know which look was your favorite, if there's any that you might be trying, so leave a comment letting me know that. Feel free to share this video if you found it helpful or think others might find it helpful or enjoyable. But with all that being said, I just want to thank you so much for watching, and until next time, much love and hugs to you. Bye, beauty babes. Mwah!